Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Andy Samberg.
I know. I saw that.
Does Andy Samberg belong in this list? And backstory here, Sarah is obsessed with Andy Samberg. She's talked about it a few times on the pod.
Multiple times.
Sarah thinks he's extremely good looking.
I do.
I still don't understand. Who are
Nobody
you?
really understands.
Andy Samberg is good. We actually have. Oh, it's not in this room. We have a framed picture of Andy Samberg from like your college days.
Yes,
you used to
somebody
just keep that in your
No.
dorm?
Somebody got it for me for my birthday. So let's just clarify. This was not me hunting down a photo of Andy Samberg that says "Pillow Talk with Andy Samberg" on it. Somebody gave this to me as a gift.
Sarah, that's weirder because you talked about Andy Samberg so much that somebody said, "Hey, what's a good gift for Sarah?" Oh, how about this weird-ass picture of Andy Samberg? She'll love it. And that was like 10 years ago, and you still have it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind
Mailbag episode.
So once every, 3 months or so, we like to just sit down and have an overarching conversation on the pod about rom-coms. And most of the time, we want to focus on things that you have given a life of their own, like on our social media. Oftentimes, we post an episode and we get a flurry of messages afterwards over the next few days, like, oh, you should have mentioned this, or like, oh, what about that? Totally agree with Devin.
Mostly it's totally agree with Sarah, but anyway. It's never totally agree with Devin, but anyway.
So this episode is all about and for you. Before we get started, if you want to add to our next mailbag episode, we're on Instagram at RomcomRewind, on TikTok. We also have an email address, romcomrewind@gmail.com.
Yeah, your grammar. Yeah. When he replies to emails, just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, the very first email we received, I'll admit, I responded to that one, did not go well.
No, the response was good. It was just like, there's some grammatical errors, that's all.
Avery emailed us and was talking about like Mamma Mia. And I said, yeah, after Letters to Juliet, we definitely need more. I said, I misspelled this poor person's name twice.
Yeah.
It's Amanda Seyfried.
Yes.
I said Amy Seyfriend. How... So you know what? If we don't get any more emails, I understand. Okay, guys, I get it. That was bad.
But you totally can send us an email, for sure. There's lots of ways to get a hold of us.
It can almost be part of the bit. You can send an
my
email.
God.
It's going to be a very grammatically inappropriate response.
Just know that when you send an email, it's to Devin.
Instagram messages go straight to Sarah. Email goes straight to Devin.
Yep.
Decide who you want to talk to, So yes, everything that we're going to talk about today, it's all about you. Conversations that we've had with you, either through Instagram or what have you, that have kind of evolved from just episodes on the pod. So the first thing that we have to talk about is the Is That Guy Good Looking group.
Yes.
A few episodes ago, we did Hope Floats, starring Sandra Bullock, and our topic of discussion, Harry Connick Jr.
It sure was.
Because I thought, after watching that movie, you know what? This guy deserves to be the first on an honorary list. A group we're here to talk about. Harry belongs in the Is That Guy Good Looking group?
Yes, because sometimes he is, and then other times we're like, nah.
That's exactly what this group is about. There are a
Exactly.
lot of guys who, on any given day, I just can't tell. Is he good looking? I don't know. Sometimes I see him, I'm like, hey, that's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see him and you're like, no, of course not. So after that episode, we received a lot of suggestions for who else belongs in that group.
Yes, it was awesome. It was such a hot topic. I loved it. And I mean, we're still talking about it, and it's been weeks.
I guess there's three groups. There's the genuinely good looking. We all know that group.
Mhm.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. Sure. not good looking.
Brad Pitt. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Whoa.
Anyway, continue.
Bad look. And then there's this group that's somewhere in the middle where these guys are just on the spectrum between they could be in the one group, they could be in the other. They're kind of in both worlds.
Yes, they are.
So, Harry Connick Jr., I think we agree, belongs in that group.
100%.
Let's go through the suggestions that we received from
Okay.
you. Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Is that guy good looking?
So I don't think he's good looking.
Okay.
But I can understand how people would think that he would be in this category because sometimes he could be really good looking and then other times he may not be so stellarly good looking, especially like when he dyes his hair like frosty, like almost white, you know?
He's got that like Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh no, Machine Gun. Yeah.
Skinny white dudes who have way too many tattoos, and
God.
it's like I feel like I just want to buy you a hamburger or something. Like you eating okay? Now he's with Kim Kardashian, so like you gotta be okay.
Which like I really want to. It's just I just have so many questions. I have so many questions. About
I know.
But I'll never get answers to them.
Just in terms of personality, her going from Kanye West to Pete Davidson.
I don't.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What is
quite
happening?
understand it. If somebody understands it, please let me know because I really want to know.
But Pete Davidson gets a spot in the. Is that guy good looking?
Yes, he does.
Okay, Robert Pattinson. We actually just watched The Batman.
We did this week. Yeah.
He's angry and Gotham.
Yeah, and I remember during that movie, there's a few scenes where he is Bruce Wayne, and he's like, I literally leaned over to Devin during the movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, talk about emo teen angst.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is truly encompassed in this character.
That's My Chemical Romance
yes,
in 2022.
he did a
right
phenomenal
there.
job at the whole teenage emo angst situation. I think he's a heartthrob in a way, like Twilight. I think like everybody kind of went nuts for him during the Twilight era.
Sure.
He's been in a few things since. Like he does belong in this because every time I see him, I'm like, oh, he is good looking. But then I'm like, there's just something about him that's not quite.
See, I disagree. I think he's just good looking. I think
You
he just
think?
is.
He's got a nice chiseled jaw.
He's got a chiseled
He's
jaw.
got a good jawline.
He's kind of teen angsty, but he's never bad looking, I think.
Oh, I don't know about that because that emo teen angst was bad looking
That's
for
not
me. Like I
attractive
was
for
like,
Sarah.
when oh my god, when Andy Serkis was like, go take a shower, I was like, yeah, go take a shower and wash your face.
You
Because,
wash your face.
You watch that. Yeah, go wash your
The
face.
black makeup out from your eyes. And, next, this is kind of I think he's in a similar boat. Adam Driver.
Okay, I don't know what it is about
You're
him.
about to say something weird right now. I can feel it.
I actually think he's good looking.
Yeah, I knew it.
I
God.
don't know why. But because there were times, you know what, though, he does belong in this category because there are times, like, especially, during Star Wars and, like, a few other movies that he's done most recently, there are times where I'm like, no. Like, no thank you. But then, like, there's other times when I look at him and I'm like, yeah, you are really good looking.
And, like, I find he has so much charisma on screen that when you're watching him, you say, wow, like, he's kind of charming, he's kind of good looking. If you just look at a photo of Adam Driver and his mouth isn't moving and he's not talking, you're like, it's not a good looking guy.
No, it's true.
No, just a photo of Adam Driver, not a good looking
Yeah.
guy. Acting, he's got some charm.
I was just about to say, because I think it is his acting that makes him more endearing.
Yeah.
Some people, when they open their mouths, you want them to close it.
Yeah.
And not say anything,
Yeah.
and that makes them hotter. Whereas, like, Adam Driver, I think him opening his mouth makes him hotter.
Ooh. Okay, so I think we agree. You think he belongs
No.
in the
I do
good-looking
think.
group.
No, I think he does belong in this group.
Maybe that same scenario could be said for the next person on our list.
Okay.
Channing Tatum.
Okay.
And here's the thing. There is one person. So we
Yes,
had a
yes,
few
yes.
responses that said Channing Tatum, just straight up.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a good-looking guy or a not good-looking guy. He's kind of in the middle. One person did say Channing Tatum specifically with his shirt on belongs in this group.
This is like my favorite response, one of them, because we're saying here that he does not belong in this group when his shirt is off, that he is a 10 out of 10.
Right.
And then when he puts a shirt on, that it's like, well,
Is he good looking? Yeah.
Yeah, like I understand. Like I get it because, you know, Magic Mike, it was like, yep,
But
thank you.
I've never watched the movie. What percentage of that movie is he shirtless?
Oh, quite
Is
a
it
bit.
Like 50-50?
Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen it in years. And I think there's 2 or 3 of them, and I either haven't seen the third because I was like, ugh, you know, like whatever. But I think I've seen the first 2. Yeah, and like they're mostly naked. Not naked, like they're not fully like, oh my gosh, but
Wow.
like they're
Sarah.
they're shirtless for sure. They're shirtless.
So does he belong in the is that guy good looking group?
Okay. In my opinion, I don't think he belongs in this group at all. Because
Really?
he's too hot. Like
Okay.
he's too good looking.
Okay, this is on the other spectrum of the argument. Adam Sandler.
No, like he is never good looking.
Because is he just not good looking?
There is like no piece of me that thinks that he's good looking.
Yeah, agreed.
I can understand though, like it's like no, you know what, I can't. No, I just don't think he's good looking. I just can't. His humor doesn't get to me. Like it doesn't it's not for me anymore, you know? Like his movies are not funny to me. And I think for him to be good looking, I think people think he's funny, and I think that's part of what his charm is. Like it makes him
Yeah.
better looking is his like level of funniness.
Can I ruin Adam Sandler and a band for you real quick?
Sure. Throw it out there.
I saw this TikTok.
Okay.
And it's like bands who sound like a person. Alt J
No.
sounds like it's sung by Adam Sandler.
No, Alt J.
When they're like, it
I
sounds like Adam
love-
Sandler.
Okay,
You may contain the urge to run away, but hold her down with soggy clothes and breeze blocks.
I love Alt J, and it does not sound
Yes,
like Adam
it does.
Sandler.
It sounds like
I'm
Adam Sandler.
dying.
For sure.
In, like, yes, no, not the Alt J song. All Alt J songs sound like that. But
You just sang every Alt J song, Devin.
also, I don't know if the YouTube video still exists, but it is one of my all-time favorite YouTube videos of, if you guys are familiar with Alt J or not, it's hilarious. It's these 2 guys who I'm pretty sure are very high.
Oh, he's
And
eating like
I
rice
know. Yeah.
crispy squares or whatever.
It is one of my favorite YouTube videos. They make, it's like, I think it's titled like How to Make an Alt J Song.
Yeah.
And it gets me every time. It's an old
I was
video.
gonna say
like,
it's not new. It's
No.
like YouTube days, like probably like 7 years ago.
oh, more than that.
These 2
Yeah.
kids just a little bit too high. He's got
Oh, yeah.
a loop pedal, I think,
He
and he's just
does.
like
He
put it on my butt, put it on my butt, put it
But
and
it-
it all comes together as
It
an
comes
Alt J
together,
song.
and if you were to put that song and an Alt J song beside each other, it 100% sounds like it and is pure perfection.
Next on the list.
Yes. Oh my God.
Andy Samberg.
I know. I saw that.
Does Andy Samberg belong in this list? And backstory here, Sarah
Yeah.
is obsessed with Andy Samberg. She's talked about it a few times on the pod.
Multiple times.
How
yes.
Sarah thinks he's extremely good looking.
I do.
I still don't understand it. Who are
Nobody
you?
really
Andy
understands
Samberg is good. We actually have. Oh, it's not in this room. We have a framed picture of
yes.
Andy Samberg from
Yes.
like your college days.
Yes.
You used
yes.
to
Somebody
just keep that in your
No.
dorm?
Somebody got it for me for my birthday. So like, let's just clarify. This was not me hunting down a photo of Andy Samberg that says "Pillow Talk with Andy Samberg" on it. Somebody gave this to me as a gift.
Sarah, that's weirder because you talked about Andy Samberg so much that somebody said, "Hey, what's a good gift for Sarah?" Oh, how about this weird ass picture of Andy Samberg? She'll love it. And that was like 10 years ago, and you
Yeah, it
still
was,
have
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
That's
I
more
hear you.
strange. You've told enough people about it that they're like, "Hey,
Well, you know, when people say like, who's your celebrity crush? I'm like, Andy Samberg.
this is weird."
Like that is like, I really like Andy Samberg. I'm not creepy about it though.
So I thank you so much to everybody who
Yes.
wrote this.
Thank you so
We had
much.
a multiple people say Andy Samberg belongs in this list.
You know what though? Like I see everyone's point, and I know I've said that a few times, but like honestly, I do get it because there are some photos of him, or like sometimes where I'm like, yeah, but he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you almost sound like? Uncut Gems a little bit. Uncut Gems.
No. Yeah. Just loop that. Wow.
We also don't live anywhere near California. I don't know
No.
where that came from.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he is really, I think he's really good looking, but I can appreciate everyone's opinions on that. They may not find him as attractive at all even. But I have to say there are a lot of people who agree with me. When we did that poll a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, people thought he was attractive. So thank you.
I'm pretty sure it was like a 55,
No,
45 thing.
I have saved it so I can go back and take a look.
And the last person, this is a tough one, Zac Efron.
Okay,
Does
so-
he belong in the is that guy good looking list?
Okay, so I'm wondering if this, like, people are thinking, like, is this like Zac Efron, like working out Zac Efron, like I'm talking about like Baywatch Zac Efron, or is it like dad bod Zac Efron?
Because in the last like 18 months, he
Even
did
more,
that like
even more.
Netflix show, and people were like, oh, like, you know, Zac Efron has stopped not working out, but he's not chiseled
eating.
anymore. Yeah, he's eating. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
No.
We don't want to body shame Zac
it's a
Efron.
good thing.
But like,
It's not a bad thing.
you know, he's got a little bit of a dad bod going.
I don't think he belongs in this. I
just
think
good
he's
looking.
just good looking.
Yeah, I agree
like
with that.
whether it's working out Zac Efron or dad bod out Zac Efron, I think he's both very attractive.
There were a few other people on the list, but I think we can just Javier Bardem.
I don't think he's attractive.
I was gonna say
he doesn't belong on this. Like, is he good looking? He's
Whoa,
just like not
you
attractive.
think he's just unattractive?
No, I just don't think he's attractive.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hot take.
Hot-
Jason
hot take.
Sudeikis?
He belongs on this list.
Hmm.
Because sometimes he's good looking, sometimes I'm like, meh.
Marty said Kevin Bacon. And he also said, don't at me. So I'm literally adding you, Marty.
Okay, well, Devin's pumped about it, but I don't, like, he is...
No. See, I think that's disrespectful.
Oh,
You're saying
think-
that Kevin Bacon is not attractive ever?
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Correct. Correct. Don't at me. I think he is not on this list, nor is he on the good-looking list.
Get out. Go away. That's not true.
Well, we shall agree to disagree on the whole Kevin Bacon thing. This has been ongoing for like a year and a half.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Kevin Bacon is a good-looking man.
He is not, but anyway.
Next category. Mad, I think it's probably Maddie, on our Instagram asked, what are the cliches you love and hate?
I love it. This
In
is a
romantic
good. This is a
comedies.
good question. Cliches that I hate or dislike in rom-coms. Someone making a bet about a potential love interest. So, like, I like the way they did it in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but I find it's been done a lot. So, like, in She's All That, 10 Things I Hate About You, 10 Things I Hate About You. Maybe it's like it was a big 90s trend into the early 2000s because, like, we haven't really seen it since. But that's something that I'm like, well, you could probably, like, you know, I don't know, make that a little bit more modern.
It seems like that's the easy thing when it's two people from entirely different
Yeah.
friend groups or whatever. Like, how am I going to
Clicks.
bring these?
Yeah.
How am I going to bring these two characters together? Oh, somebody's betting somebody a
Let's
thing
make
or whatever.
yeah, exactly. One that I hate is men falling in love with inappropriate women. So the worst, I don't know if this comes to your mind right away, but Never Been Kissed. She was of age, technically speaking, she was of age, but was undercover as a teenager. And the fact that the teacher was flirting with her constantly was super inappropriate.
Judge Sarah's here, and
So like
she
that line, like that kind of cliche in a rom-com, I'm like, no, thank you. Nobody needs that. And then, okay, you'll like this one. Hallmark movies do this basically in every movie where both characters, like both main characters, absolutely have like a total full-on hatred for each other.
Oh, I hate that.
And then by
too.
the end of the movie, they've completely fallen in love. She's given up her big corporate job in wherever she comes from for this small town life. Like, it can be a bit overdone.
So I would agree with that. There's specifically in the next question, the two movies that I've identified in the next question have that exact same flaw that you're talking
Okay.
about. Yes, it drives me crazy. It was very popular, weirdly.
Yeah.
Like in normal romantic comedies outside of the Hallmark sphere
Yes.
of influence.
Okay.
Like normal rom-coms did that a lot between like 2007 and 2012 maybe. There was like a span where there are a couple where they just like despised each other, and I'm like, why? This is kind of, and then it makes the love story for them to fall in love a little bit less believable, because I'm like, yo,
Yes.
30 minutes ago you hated each other.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
what are we talking
And
about, guys?
You really have to have the writers make it convincing that they within an hour and a half span. So like that's because that's what you have. The
Yeah.
first 30 minutes you hate each other, and the last hour you have to convince the audience that they are truly in love. I did want to say I wanted to end on a positive note. I do love the grand gestures though. They're always fun, and I love to see how the directors and writers come up with new and on-trend gestures. And my example of this would be when flash mobs were really big.
Oh my god.
They're not like,
Friends with benefits?
trust me, that's not what I want to see now in a rom-com, but you can almost like pinpoint a time period of when that movie was done based on the trends of the grand gestures. So yeah, like the flash mob in
Friends with
in
benefits.
Friends with Benefits. Like I thought that was like, oh, so cute, on trend, whatever.
Oh, so cute.
Okay, what are your cliches that
Well,
you
I'm
love
going
and
to
hate?
disagree with that last one.
All right.
I don't like the grand gestures. I like the grand speeches. Give me some good
Ah.
writing.
Love it.
Give me a story that one of the characters needs to tell, and it makes me think the love is believable. I don't need a grand gesture. I need a grand monologue.
Okay, so very good writing comes into play there.
For sure. I hate dress-up montages.
Of
you know
course
that.
you do, because I love them.
I also hate glam-up montages. Even we did Love and Basketball last episode, and I thought, hey, like a very empowering movie, all this. They still had a dress-up montage.
A short
and
one.
They still never been kissed her like what I'm thinking of She's All That is.
Oh, she's all that. Oh,
She's All
sorry,
That-ing
sorry.
her? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I think when you think of a glam up movie, everyone like who knows or who grew up in the 90s can pinpoint that She's All That.
Yeah.
Like that was the absolute epic like glow up montage. And I mean, there were some before and some after, obviously, but that one for me anyway, I think of She's All That, and you think of She's All That.
Our next category, we were asked, what are our least favorite romantic comedies?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go first for this one?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you brought up Hallmark movies at the end of our last question. I just generally, I despise those.
Yeah, generally speaking, I don't despise them. There's parts of them that I'm like, meh.
I don't think they're real rom-coms. Anyway,
Okay, well, whatever.
in the
Floats your
real
boat.
rom-com world, I'm thinking about things that we've either, rewatched,
Yep.
are on the pod. Two movies that come to mind, and I
Mhm.
mentioned it in the last question, Ugly Truth
Okay.
and Bounty Hunter.
Okay.
I really, even thinking back, I think a big part of this pod is that, we look at movies that we liked back in the 90s, 2000s, even 2010s. We rewatched some new
80s.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of times with stuff that has aged, the question becomes, has this aged gracefully? Or in these cases, honestly, these movies, I can't even think of them the same way as I used to when they first came out. I thought both these movies were great.
Mhm.
And
They were
now
funny.
rewatching them, I like some of the jokes are just maybe inappropriate now. The whole vibe of like, ooh, we're gonna hate each other for like 60 minutes and then make up for the last 30 minutes of this movie. I don't really like that shtick. They've aged poorly, and I can't think of them the same way. I'm sorry.
So I have
guys.
a question for you, because interestingly enough, if I recall correctly, both of the main male leads in Bounty Hunter and The Ugly
It's
Truth
Gerard
are Gerard
Butler,
Butler.
both
Is it
times.
Gerard Butler that you don't like, or the writing for Gerard Butler?
I think it's the writing for Gerard Butler and how he went through this phase that was like it's the same character in both movies.
I agree.
So there are other things I love Gerard Butler in, but like
Mhm.
I don't love those.
Okay, so for me, How Do You Know has been the biggest lunch bag letdown for me.
Ooh.
Expectations, Reese Witherspoon, Paul Rudd, but it just didn't really I didn't get what I wanted out of it. I think it's hard to say, like, I hate this movie or it's my least favorite because in the podcast we do A-rated rom-coms, B-rated rom-coms, C-rated rom-coms. Like I would think that this would be like a C-rated rom-com or like even like a D-rated rom-com, even though the actors and the cast like were stellar or are stellar in other movies, but they just didn't hit the mark for me in this movie. And it's just some get a better budget quality or budget, than others.
But no, I
It's hard to
absolutely agree
compare.
with you, and I absolutely think that matters because we just did a TikTok the other day referencing this, how that movie lost $100 million.
Yeah.
And I kind of think of that movie in the same realm as a definitely maybe. It wasn't like a blockbuster hit, like, oh my God, I gotta go see this in theaters. It was like a B+ romantic comedy in terms of budget.
Yes.
And in terms of how it was promoted. And I think definitely maybe when you watch it, you think, wow, that's hitting above its pay grade, right? Like that's a better movie than I think was budgeted.
Right.
Whereas How Do You Know, I think was in the same area, like a B+, and it ends up being like a
It was a massive flop. Like
huge flop.
So that if you're asking what my least favorite rom-com so far that we've done, or just in the grand scheme of the rom-coms, it's probably my least favorite that we've done so far.
Yeah. And I think it's an expectation versus reality thing.
Yeah, like Reese Witherspoon hits it out of the park so many damn times, but this one, it just was like you expected more than what you got. And I think I said it in the podcast, like I came into the movie feeling the exact same way that I left the movie, which was like I still know nothing about the plot or nothing about the movie. Like nothing moved forward for me.
Next we have the rom-com life you would live for one day. This is a great question.
It is a really good one.
This is from Meredith. Thank you for the suggestion. This one's good. This one's hard because all of the rom-coms I truly love are like on the dramatic side. Like if you're like, hey, would you like to live the life of The Notebook? I'm like, meh. Love the movie. Makes me cry every time.
Oh God.
Ooh, man, that's a lot of emotion for one guy. I love Definitely Maybe. Ryan Reynolds goes through the ringer in that. Crazy Stupid Love. I love it. I don't want to be a divorcee like Steve Carell, but or my wife's cheating on me with Kevin Bacon. Shout out
Kevin Bacon. No.
I think I would shoot for like for a Forgetting Sarah Marshall because the story is a little bit heartbreaking, but it's not like you can overcome that kind of heartbreak. By the end of it, I end up with Mila Kunis. My future looks bright. I just launched a comedy musical in LA.
Vampire comical.
A vampire comedy musical, yeah. I'll also shout out Always Be My Maybe. Marcus Kim, Randall Park.
Love it.
I just like the, you know what?
I love that movie.
My last two are kind of similar because I like Think Like a Man, specifically Dominic.
Yes, that's a good one too.
His storyline, I like that he's very passionate. He's very motivated, but he needed like that push.
Mm-hmm.
He's owns his own food truck, aspiring to be a restaurateur. Ends up with Taraji P. Henson. Love that. Randall Park. Marcus Kim is with the celebrity chef in Ali Wong. She's also opening restaurants. Maybe I just like eating food. And
I was going to say, like food oriented.
How am I going to eat the most amount of food?
Maybe ambitious, like goal oriented. I think that's what it is. Like
100%. Yeah, I like being around
dig a little
people.
deeper.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so for me, I think I'd do something. I agree with you, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. But I think I could also see myself in like an isn't it romantic type situation, or even like a Clueless type of movie, or like 10 Things I Hate About You would be a good one. All that teenage angst.
Hold on, you want to live in Isn't It Romantic?
Yeah,
so
like
you're gonna bonk your head and be transported into the world of a romantic
it was
comedy.
Just like it was like singing animals and like birds and like all this like pretty like wonderfulness. I would not.
You're like the perfect person to be on this friggin' podcast, right? What do you want in the perfect romantic comedy? I want a romantic comedy that is so cliche they're making fun of the cliches of the rom-com.
I think that would be really funny.
Yeah.
It is really funny. I really like that movie. Okay, but not stuff that I like. Movies that I would not are 50 First Dates or Life as We Know It. I would not want to forget things every single night and then have to learn them all over each and every day. And then for Life as We Know It, I wouldn't want to lose my best friends in order to find the love of my life.
And now finally, we have
Sarah's Quick Fact Showdown.
Oh, give it some more gusto.
Sarah's Quick Fact Showdown.
Here we go.
Woo!
So if you listen to our episodes, you know that Sarah does her quick facts every episode.
Yes.
How much of that do you remember, though? More specifically, how much does Devin
I was gonna say.
remember? You listening along, you can almost play
yes.
against me. Sarah's going to ask quick facts that you have heard in previous episodes, and I have heard
Correct.
sitting across from you, listening.
If he does listen to me, yep.
We're about to find out. So let's play Sarah's Quick Fact Showdown. Hit me.
Okay, so I have 6 questions.
Okay.
The first one is, this is a 2-part question. True or false? Do Juliet's secretaries really exist? And what are they called?
Yeah, Juliet's secretaries in the movie Letters to Juliet,
Correct.
set in Verona, Italy.
Yes.
They do exist.
Mhm.
They are employed by the city of Verona.
Yes, they are.
They are called... Shit, I can't remember what they're called.
They're called the Juliet Club, and they actually organize events in honor of Romeo and Juliet. Number 2, in the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall, who is in the background when Jason Segel's character mocks Sex and the City while getting drunk at the bar?
Oh, isn't it somebody from Sex and the City? Don't tell me it's Kim Cattrall.
No, it's Cynthia Nixon. Question number 3. What 4 other movies have Jason Segel and Paul Rudd starred in together?
Okay. Jason Segel, Paul Rudd. We're gonna have Knocked Up.
Ding.
Oh, I Love You, Man.
Correct.
This is 40?
Yes.
I'm missing one.
I don't think you're going to get this one.
They were probably in Freaks and Geeks together, but that doesn't count. That's not a movie. Okay, I don't know.
This is the end.
Oh! Whoa,
Yeah.
what a good one.
So Jason Segel and Paul Rudd starred together in Knocked Up, I Love You Man, This is 40, and This is the End. Question number 4. What TV show reunites Nazem Pedrad and Lamorne Morris?
New Girl.
Yes, you almost didn't know that one.
I was about to say How I Met Your Mother. Woo! Lamorne Morris. Love him.
Number 5. In the movie Drive Me Crazy, what were the band The Donnas formerly known as?
The Donnas. I feel like it was the name.
Correct, yes.
The Donnas. Was it the Belladonnas?
No, that's a good guess, though. It was the Electrocutes.
Oh,
Not even close.
damn. I thought they just dropped the Bella. Yeah.
Question number 6 and the last question.
Final question, Kay. Here
Final
we go.
question. In the movie Date Night, there are several characters who have been nominated for an Oscar. Who is the only actor to have actually won an Oscar?
Date Night. We've got Steve Carell. We've got Tina Fey. We have James Franco. We have Mila Kunis. We have Common. We've got a few others, but Ray Liotta's in that too. I feel like we talked about Common a lot that episode. Is it Common?
It is Common.
Here we go!
For Best Original Song in 2015 for the song Glory.
Yeah. Okay.
Good job.
Here we go. Look at me go. And this has been the Rom-Com Rewind Mailbag episode. We obviously, talked about a few things. We couldn't get to every question. So, to those who sent in questions and suggestions for this episode, don't worry. We will get to them next time around. And if you have something that you're like, oh, man, I wish they would have talked about blank, you can send us an email. I'll probably F it up, and you'll be like, is this a 12-year-old emailing me back? Kind of.
Or you can message us on Instagram. But yeah, if you have any ideas for our next Mailbag episode, absolutely. Please let us know.
So at Romcom Rewind on Instagram and TikTok, romcomrewind@gmail.com to email us.
Thanks for listening.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.